All right, so I quickly kind of sketched out a couple of the things I did for my stencil demo, where I was looking at stencils to see how some artists have designed their graphic shapes based on photographs of people and the shadow patterns. Just how could we now think about what edges would remain sharp and what might start getting a little bit of gradation to them? Going from that sort of graphic, two-dimensional world to the slightly more optically informed shaded world of form, applying depth. So here I'm looking at this cheekbone. So that's going to be like, you know, usually it's going to have a bit of gradation on it. So I'm going to fairly rounded form. So I'll just smooth that out. All right, the nose here, chances are there's going to be, it's going to be a rounded form. So I'll kind of fuzz out that transition. I can use my eraser too if I need to. I could try adding some halftone. Try this pencil. All right. Maybe the bridge of the nose right here. And shadow, fuzzy ends. I didn't really spend a lot of time with the proportions here, but more just start to think about, you want to have nicely descriptive 2D shapes at the start, but then it's going to be time to do your shading. You should be thinking about how can you really depart from that good 2D design and then work the edges to start telling the story of the form. So cast shadows close to the object casting it often stay sharp. So maybe I'll leave that. Right here, that could stay fairly sharp, but that transition I'd probably want it to be softer. But this is a cast shadow, so this might be somewhat crisp. Cheek definitely soft. This lower eyelid right here, this crease right there may or may not be sharp. The lower eyelid highlight is generally going to be kind of somewhat sharp, but there might be a little cast shadow. The upper eyelid there. This right here in the epicanthal fold might have a little gradation. Part of it depends on the quality of the light as well. And then this is, if there's the side of the nose was showing, that would be a little bit of a gradation because it's a pretty tight bend. So it wouldn't be super hard edged. It would be soft, but not real wide, not real big. Maybe there's a little something on the cheek. All right, let's go over here. So again, let's come from here. If that's the eyebrow, was the, okay, I think that's supposed to be the bridge of the nose right there. So let's come from over there. Like that. Maybe a little bit up here, there. You can also erase a little if you want. So part of what the artist did when they designed these is they edited So there's going to be some information that's not there at all. So got to make up some of it. So this is supposed to be a nose. I think it would be something like that. So a little bit tight. Gradation here. Cast shadow close to the source. Sharp there. I mean, there's a nostril and stuff in there, but that's all been simplified. So again, I like to get this kind of wing of the nose there, often by reversing it out against the shadow of the cheek, something like that. And often, I mean, it's hard to see because it's so tight, but there's usually like a little bit of gradation on that side, maybe. It's another nose. There's a little gradation here, a little gradation there. Some here. Cast shadow. Leave it crisp here. Now what's going on there? So I don't want this to be like a whole big thing. I just want you to think about, when you're drawing these things, think about making strong graphic shapes, working 2D, and then thinking about that transition from light to dark. Once you've got a good shadow pattern, how you transition from dark to light. What are the edges? Is it a soft edge? Is it a hard edge? Is it a tight soft edge? Like, does it not take up a lot of width, or is it a larger form transition? Is it a sharp edge because it's a cast shadow close to the thing casting the shadow with a real harsh light? Or is it hard because of a big form transition, like, a real corner? All right, that's it.